Hi there! You're watching the Handmade by Lorelei podcast, and I'm your host, Lorelei. I'm coming to you from upstate New York. I'm a jewelry designer who knits in her free time, and this is my knitting podcast, and I thought I would do a quick episode today just to fill you in on what I'm working on and what's happening the days leading up to Rhinebeck. And I'm going to show you some works in progress. I don't have any finished objects today, but I've got a couple works in progress and some new acquisitions and my FibreShare package and some Rhinebeck plans. So if you're a new viewer, welcome. I hope that what I am talking about today will be of interest to you. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back to hang out with me for a little while today. Today is Tuesday, October 17th, and Rhinebeck is in 4 days. So the excitement level is at an all-time high, as you can imagine. And I get even more excited when I'm watching podcasts and hear people talking about their excitement on attending Rhinebeck this year. If you're not familiar with what Rhinebeck is a small little town in New York State, around the Hudson Valley area, I believe. And that's where they host the Woolen Sheep Festival. And this year's festival is this weekend. So I will talk more about that at the end of the episode in case you're not interested in hearing about that so much. So I'm going to what I'm wearing today is my starting point shawl. I'm just using it as kind of a blankety type of thing because it's enormous. This is the mystery knit along that Joji Locatelli did last spring, I believe. And this is the first time I'm able to wear it because it got really warm shortly after I finished it and I wasn't able to enjoy wearing it. So to reiterate what I used in this shawl, in case you're interested, well, I'll link to my project page. You probably don't care. You can probably find the episode where I talk more about this. I used a bunch of stash yarn, and I really like how it turned out. So anyway, let me talk about my works in progress. I will show you I didn't make too much progress on this. It is growing. This is my Meandering shawl. And I'm really enjoying working on this, but it's kind of gone into the back seat, on the back burner, if you will, because I'm working on a sweater so that I can maybe wear it this weekend on my trip. So this yarn is Qing Fibre, and I forgot, Penguin I think is the colorway. Is that right? Yeah, I think it is. And this is Fibre for the People in oil spill, and this was actually I can't remember what she called it. It was like kind of like a seconds. It didn't turn out exactly how she had expected it. It was during a lot of testing for that colorway. But I love it. That's going to be so fun to wear on either side. And something about this colorway is very Halloween to me. So I've been really enjoying working on it this October, but that's it. Nothing really too exciting. I'm knitting it on my tulip bamboo needles. No, I'm not. These are needles that were a gift to me from a swap I did, and they came in a little envelope and they have Japanese writing on them that I don't know exactly But they're good. They have that little ergonomic bend, and they're bamboo, and they have a pretty good tip on them and a really nice steel cable wire, much like Chow Gu. And I believe this cable is only 24 inches long. It could be 32, I suppose. I'm not sure. And it's living in my Danica Studios bag, which I've showed off before, but it's just so cute. Lots of little mouths. I started another pair of socks. Sorry, I'm gonna fly through this because I don't want it to be a really long episode. I am working on some socks. I mentioned that I was starting the Branches and Leaves shawl, which is a beautiful leafy brioche triangular shawl, and I was using this yarn and I ripped it out because after I've been working on my Meandering shawl, I'm using single ply and it's just perfect for brioche. So my tip to you is, if you want to start brioche, single ply sock yarn, single ply fingering yarn is the way to go. It's nice and fluffy and beefy, and I like it much better than using just regular sock yarn, and that's what I was using. This is sock yarn from House of a la Mode. This is the Summer Club colorway, and this is Lorna's Laces in the L colorway. And so I thought I would just go ahead and rip that shawl out and cast on some socks, because I didn't have any socks on the needles at the time and it was already caked up, so why not, right? So I'm doing these toe up, and this is my first pair of socks using contrasting heels and toes and cuffs. So I'm using Lorna's Laces for those contrasts, and the color is just perfect. However, the House of a la Mode yarn, being a hand-dyed yarn, is just a little bit darker because I'm knitting I'm knitting one sock from the center pull and the other sock from outside. So the outside is a little bit lighter than the inside. And you can't really tell. I mean, you can, but what are you gonna do, you know? So I'm almost to the heel. I'm at the heel, I believe, on this sock. But this one, I have a couple more rows to go before I get there. And like I said, I'm working on my sweater, so these have been kind of ignored lately. And I'm knitting them both on 9-inch circulars, which I love. So the fabric that these are creating is really, really nice. I think these socks are going to be so fun to wear. These are size US 1s. So, socks. Oh, and if you wanted to see the yarn in the cake, that's the Lorna's Laces. You know, typical sock yarn with nylon. And House of a la Mode. Now, my sweater is almost done. It's very exciting. It's coming out awesome. I'm super excited, but there are some things I wanted to talk about. So here it is. I have one sleeve done and half of the second sleeve done, and the collar is done and the body is done. Here is the back. Oh yeah. I'm going to really enjoy wearing this. When I got done with the body, I shared this on Instagram, so you may have already seen this, but I got it off the needles, the body. This was before I even knit the collar. And I'm looking at it, it's laying on the floor, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, son of a hoo-ha. The lace on this shoulder got monkeyed up somehow. It's supposed to look like this, but as you can see, I repeated that motif 3 times. Or 1 extra time. I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened, but it looks odd. It doesn't look like the shoulder. See? But, oh well. That would bug some people. It doesn't bug me. I'm leaving it, and I just kept going. And when I'm wearing it, you'll never know the difference, I don't think. Hopefully. So after I got done with the body, I picked up the stitches and did the collar. The collar on this is done in the tweed rib, just like the hem. And it's also on the sleeves, cuffs. And it says to do, I don't know how many inches of it. It's supposed to be slouchy. I can fold it over if I wanted to, but it's supposed to just be slouchy. And I didn't bring the pattern in here to show you the picture, but trust me. But it just only said to bind off in pattern. And I hate it when it doesn't tell me what bind off. That drives me nuts. So I'm sorry I keep looking here. I should be looking here. I ended up doing Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off because I have a bind off and cast on book, a little spiral bound book. And it said for collar or for collars or no, I think it said for necks. I don't know. It suggested that particular bind off, so that's what I did. I'm not sure I love it, but I'm not ripping that out and redoing it. I'm just not going to do it. So it's gonna be like that. That's it. That's all. So that was that. Then I did the one sleeve. I knit all the way to here. And I said to myself, boy, that looks awful small. Well, of course it is, dummy. You used the wrong size needles. After I looked at the pattern, I knit the whole sleeve in a size 8 instead of the size 9. Ripped it back. Start again. Now I'm on 9s. I knit the whole sleeve and it still looks fairly small here. Now I'm hoping it blocks out. I'm going to block the piss out of it and hope that it doesn't fit super tight because I would like to wear something underneath this. A long sleeve t-shirt preferably because it's wool. Hello. But then I also realized that I knit the whole cuff in the size, I knit the whole sleeve and the cuff in the size 9 and I should have switched to the size 8 for the cuff. But it's fine because it's already small and an 8s would have been even smaller. So I'm glad I didn't do that. The sleeve turned out good though. I picked up stitches all around and I don't even have any like weird wonky holes in the under armpit area, which is nice, good. And now I'm just working on the second sleeve and this one's turning out just as good. So I'm using my size 9s and that might need to be just tightened up a little bit, but I'm about halfway to the cuff. So this sweater will be done and I will be taking it with me to Rhinebeck. I don't know if I'll be able to wear it because it's supposed to be in the 70s. So, bummer. But at least I'll bring it with me. And if it's cool in the morning, I'll be able to wear it at least a little bit. So that's my sweater. This, I'm knitting this with Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in the Seraphim. Is that what it is? Seraphim colorway? I don't know. I took the ball band off of this, but it's like a dusty purple color. That's true to color there. And I like it. I really like it. Would I have loved to knit the sweater in a hand-dyed merino wool? Yes, I would have loved to do that. I don't have that kind of yarn budget. So Knit Picks it is. And I bought 15 skeins of this yarn. And I'm going to have quite a bit left over. I'll be anxious to see how many balls it actually took to do this. But this is, I think, a large size. Not the extra large. I think it's just the large. But it's going to open up quite a bit. I mean, this looks like cables, but it's not. It's lace. So, I mean, I think that's going to open up quite a bit when I block this out. And it is going to be see-through, so I need to be able to wear a t-shirt underneath it. That's it. That's my sweater. Oh, I didn't even mention what the sweater was. This is Balsam Ridge by Dandelion Girl Designs. I think that's what it is. Her name is Melissa Schaschwary. Schaschwary. I have no idea how to say her name. I don't even have it in a bag at the moment because it's so big. So that's my knitting. No finished objects this week. I'm just moving right along on these projects, and next I'm going to talk about some new acquisitions that I recently received. So I placed a couple of orders online and I'll show you what I got. I remember when, I believe it was Jacqueline Salem of the Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast was talking about yarn from Nox Yarns, and I started following her on Instagram, and I believe she posted a picture of some yarn that she had done, and that was in the shop. And of course, when I went over there, it was available, so I got it. This is Ford. Oh dear. I don't know. This is a Faunus sock base, which is 80% superwash, blue face Leicester wool, and 20% nylon. 2-ply, 400 yards. And her shop, go there. It's noxyarn.etsy.com. Anglia? Ford Anglia? I don't know. And I think that's a reference to something, and I don't know what. But I saw the color and I just loved it. Greens and teals. You can't go wrong with that. That's going to be some socks. Definitely. I also placed an order for another skein of Fibre for the People because I had been wanting the summer drop cloth color, which is a limited color from Fibre for the People. This is on Taylor's favorite base, which is 80/20. It's 400 yards, 2-ply. I wish I had some more teal in it, but I don't know. I haven't opened this up too much yet, so I mean, it does have some there. And maybe there's some hidden inside that I don't know about yet. It's got a lot of green, a lot of red. This is super soft. I love it. So that also will be some socks in the future. I love her shop. FibreForThePeopleYarns.com. Go there. Buy all the yarn. And then, oh my god, I can't believe I snagged this. Maria of Tusken Knits collaborated with Hannah Thiessen Haferkamp, who has the Hannah on the Road podcast. If that's wrong, I will put it on the screen. Well, they paired up and Hannah Thiessen created a bag and Maria created yarn to go with the bag and offered it as kits in both of their shops. And I was able to snag one from Maria, which I'm glad because then I didn't have to wait for the international shipping. So I'm glad they offered that option because that's the bag. It's so beautiful. It's got a beautiful little rose gold zipper. It's just a little sock size bag. It's cute. And this is a gorgeous cashmere blended wool. And this is kind of a herringbone textured linen. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. And this is the yarn. So it's a... it's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. It's grown and spun in the USA, 75% wool, 25% nylon. The large skein is 354 yards and the mini skein is 86 yards, and it's meant to be socks with contrasting heels and toes. And that's probably what I will do with it. I just have to pick out a sock pattern. And I think I do have one picked out. And I forgot the name of it, so I'll talk more about that when I get there. But I'm just really happy I was able to get this little kit. It's just adorable. So that was yarn that I've ordered. Now I will show you my FibreShare package that I received from my partner. Her Instagram handle is Pine Sugar, and her name is Ashley, and she sent me a gorgeous package. She sent me this bag. This is Fringe Supply Company. And some beautiful yarn. 2 skeins of this, which I've never felt this yarn, but that is one of my most favorite colors ever on the planet. It's merino wool. It is so soft, and it's by We Are Knitters. It's superwash. 218 yards. Love it. Love it. And she also sent me this. Oh, I forgot to grab the print. I will go get that. These were all inspired by a print. And I will go get that in a second here. This is so soft. I've never seen this before. Stitch Studio by Nicole in the Mystic Waves color. It's acrylic wool roving style yarn. 70% acrylic, 30% wool. And it's really beautiful. Oh, it's AC Moore. I didn't know that. Our AC Moore closed down. I wish it was still open. It sucks. And more! There's more! Wool in the gang. This is the Crazy Sexy Wool. Peruvian wool made in Peru. 87 yards. And it is some really thick yarn. Whoa. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. So soft. And some sparrow. This is the birch colorway, which I love. It's kind of a light bluey gray color. And this is linen, 100% organic linen. Wouldn't that be so cool, held together with that? Yes. She also sent me some FibreShare goodies. And this little Notions pouchy from Tanya's Stitches. Lovebirds. So cute. Perfect for Notions. This gorgeous little ladybug card. And let me go grab that print. This print is from Yellow Bungalow Shop. And they're on Instagram, Yellow Bungalow Shop. And from there you can probably find their shop if it's I don't know if it's an Etsy store, but Live Free and beautiful little feathers. And Ashley just hit it on the head with these colors. I mean, love it. Love it. Thank you, Ashley, so much. I don't know, you probably don't watch this, but I love it, and it's awesome. I was sweating it for a little while because my FibreShare partner that I sent to had just moved, and she lives in the Los Angeles area, and she moved to a new address, and her package didn't arrive. And it was in limbo, floating around the post office atmosphere for a while. Finally, she received it, and she was really pleased with that, so I'm glad that that worked out. Really glad that worked out. Because I sent her 3 skeins of yarn. Anyway, that's my FibreShare package. So that was exciting. I love doing that swap. It's really fun. And I have another skein of yarn I want to show you. I almost forgot. And I don't know if she's going to be happy if I show this, but I'm going to show it anyway. I found some knitty people that live in my area, which is really awesome. So I ended up getting a message from Diane, and I believe she's Diane Wits End on Instagram, and she wanted to know if I could do some jewelry work for her, some custom work. And so I said, well, where are you located? And she told me, and I was like, oh, well, let's try to get together. So we did. We've gotten actually together twice now at my local library. She drives in from her town, and I think she lives about 20 minutes away. It's not a far drive at all. And Diane brought her other daughter, Miriam, with her, and they're both knitters. And it's funny because we have the jewelry thing, but then we have the knitting thing. And so we got together, and it was just so nice to meet them, and they're just amazing, amazing ladies. So talented, so fun to talk to, so laid back, so easygoing. And I'm just so grateful to have met them. Well, Miriam has quite a few animals on their farm, some of which are sheep. You know where this is going. And I said, the first time we got together, why didn't you bring me any yarn? Because I'm a knitter, yo. And they said, oh, next time, next time, next time. Well, sure enough, she brought me yarn. This is hand spun. So that's a big deal. All you people that spin yarn, I don't. I understand. I've tried it. It's hard. This is her sheep. That's Sal. A Suffolk cross. Those are the details. Miriam, oh my God, I could have hugged her and kissed her. It's so beautiful. It smells so good. It's so soft because not only did she use Sal's wool, which is dyed with Kool-Aid, by the way, you guys. Kool-Aid. Would you ever know that something like that could be so gorgeous? I didn't know. I mean, I would think that Kool-Aid would be a lot more saturated than this, but this is just the loveliest, softest mauve pink color I've ever seen. And she spun this with alpaca and something called Fire Star, which I think is like a little bit of stellina. Oh my God, you can't even see the stellina on the video, but I can see it, and it's so pretty. Miriam, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So here's what you need to check out. Miriam promised me that she was going to get some stuff listed in her store, so I need you guys to show Miriam some support and encouragement. Friend her on Instagram, follow her, check out what Sal's up to, and encourage her to get her shop up and running, because this needs to be out in the world for real. It's stunning. It is stunning, and I will be knitting this up very, very soon. As soon as I get done fondling it. I don't know. I think maybe a hat or some mittens. Yep. That's what it's going to be. Because this is about 198 yards. Okay. That's that. Now, Rhinebeck. I'm leaving for Rhinebeck on Friday. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see Nancy, to meet all of my roommates, David, Rebecca, Stephanie. I wish that I was able to meet Jake and Ray, maybe next year. They're not going to make it. I'm going to be able to see so many people. I can't wait. I can't wait to meet up with all of my online buddies, and it's going to be fantastic, and I'm really psyched. Like I mentioned before, I'm going straight to the Best Western to work at the Indian Tangled show with Maria of Tusken Knits. I'll be in her booth checking people out. And that's going to be really exciting. I can't wait to walk around that show. I'm hoping there's food there because it's going to be right in the middle of the dinner hour. I believe that show goes from 5 p.m. till 8 p.m. for the general public. But if you are a vendor, we get to start shopping at 4. So, yay! Yay! I can't wait. I can't wait. So, speaking of which, my budget is non-existent at the moment because I just paid my mortgage. So, this is a plea. I have a shop sale going on right now. It starts today and goes till Saturday in both of my online stores. This is just a little shop talk. Sorry, I'm a maker. This is my full-time job, is making and selling my jewelry online. So if you're interested in getting a leg up on your Christmas shopping, head on over to loreleiurdo.com or loreleiurdojewelry.etsy.com. I have a sale going on right now. The Etsy sale is 30% off after you've spent $25, and that's on your entire order. You don't need a coupon code for the Etsy store. However, you do need a coupon code for my website, which I have other jewelry and items listed on my website, which is loreleiurdo.com. And the coupon code is Rhinebeck17. And that will also get you 30% off of your entire order once you spend $25. And I think that's reasonable. So head on over there because I'm gonna need some fun money. I have to pay for this Airbnb and food, and it would be nice to walk away with a skein or two of yarn, you know what I'm saying? So, there you go. So Friday I'll be at Indie Untangled. Come say hi if you are going to be at the show. I'll also be at the Wool and Sheep Festival on Saturday and Sunday. So if you see me there, please say hi. I can't wait to meet you if you're there. I'll be shopping around. I started writing up some things I want to look for while I'm there. Such as, well, first of all, I have to pick up Bristol Ivy's brand new book because I pre-ordered it online and it's going to be at the Merit bookstore booth. It's called Knitting Outside the Box, I think. I'm excited. I also want to look for another book while I'm there called Slow Knitting, which looks gorgeous. Some other things I'm looking for. I want to look for a loom. I don't know if that's something that they have there at the show. It seems like they would, you know, because it's fibery. But I want to try my hand at weaving, and I would like to get a tabletop loom, maybe like 24 to 38 inches. I have one picked out online, which I can buy if I don't find one there, so I'm not really broken up about it if I don't see one at the show, but it would be nice not to have to deal with shipping. So I'll be looking around for that. I also have some yarn on the mind. I want to knit the Birds of a Feather shawl by Andrea Mowry, which was in Len magazine issue number 2, maybe? That's a guess, but I think it's issue number 2. It's a beautiful garter stitch, triangular, asymmetrical, I think, shawl. But it has some lace, and the lace is in mohair, so I'm going to be looking for 460 yards of mohair. And I have 2 skeins of Tusken Knits in Buffalo Gals. Is that the name of it? I think it is. I think I might have showed it to you already, but I'm going to be using that. So I want mohair that's a dark gray or an olive color to go with that, and I think that's going to be so pretty. And I also want to do the Boho Blush Shawl by Andrea Mowry, so I'm going to be looking for 1,095 yards of fingering yarn for that. I have a poncho called the Ponchetta written down here that's worsted that I'll need 932 yards of yarn for. I also want to knit the Millie pullover, which is a Nice&Knit pattern that just came out recently, and that's going to need fingering yarn. So these are all options. I don't obviously want to come away with all of it, but if I could find any of those things while I'm there, that would be a bonus. Or my shopping list might just be thrown right out the window. When you're there, you kind of get overwhelmed. I also get very influenced by who I'm shopping with, so I may want to kind of go off on my own and pick out stuff where I'm not like completely influenced. I mean, Nancy and I shop together, and as soon as she picks something out, I'm like, oh, that's pretty, I want to buy that too. So that's my goal anyway. And also, oh, this I want to mention too. This I bought last year, and I totally did not. Oh, there is the card in here. Yay! Briar Rose Fibre has a gorgeous booth at Rhinebeck, and these are so beautiful. This one is 4th of July, and I'm kind of hoping that they have more of this there, because I would love to get at least another one of these skeins, because this is 550 yards, yo, but I want to knit a sweater with this. So, if I can find another couple of these, I would be psyched. Like, so psyched. This is, oh, it might be a worsted. It says it needs a US 6 or 7 needle. 16 stitches for 4 inches. I'll have to look into that and see what the weight of that is. Or I look it up online maybe and see. I was thinking it was a bulky, but I don't think so. I think that might be a worsted. In which case I might need more than just 2 more of these to do a sweater. A Lori size sweater anyway. Okay, that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I hope to see you at Rhinebeck. If not, be sure to follow my podcast and the Mean Girls podcast and the Round Rabbit podcast and the Dog Dare podcast for scavenger hunt clues that will be coming to you throughout the weekend. And like I had mentioned before, tally up your clues, and after Rhinebeck we will let you know how to submit them for contests to win Rhinebeck swag. So I will see you all on the flip side of Rhinebeck. Take it easy. Later.